What's up, YouTube? Before we start, you already know, smash the like button for the more fire content. If you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. For all the newcomers, welcome to Team Eyeland. Make sure to follow Team Eyeland on the IG page, TikTok, Twitter, and follow us on Twitch for more defensive back tips and tricks. Now let's get right to the video. Today's video, I'll be explaining how to not get beat deep and what to do when you get beat. These tips and tricks will take your game to the next level. Now let's get right into it. So, first, we're going to talk about press. I'm going to explain press man and off man coverage on how to not get beat. So first thing first, press, you already know the alignment, right? You want to shade inside, right? And now if you know you're going against a faster receiver.
Fade left side of the end zone.
That direction, so you get Tyreek Hill one-on-one against the guy who's been playing him.
Deshaun Jackson.
Be a yard and a half and try to work to stay on top of the receiver. Very important. The closer you are to him, the harder it is for you to read the release. Because the closer you are, you just instantly going to try to put your hands up. But we know in press, we want to move our feet to use our hands. So now, let's get a good alignment right here. And we're here focusing on that near hip, that hip, right? Some people teach near hip. Some people teach the midline, right? So just work your technique, whatever you do, right? And make sure you're moving your feet. If you stop your feet and just try to shoot your hands, instantly you're losing the race. You're going to get beat. So make sure you move your feet, right? Try to stay on top of him. Kick step, that's another thing. Kick stepping is the reason why a lot of DBs get beat, because they don't kick step. They just turn and run. And think about this. If he's going this way and we're facing here, right? And he just go and we just turn, we're gone. We're beat. So come back. We got to be in position to move our feet and use our hands, right? So we move our feet, give him a go, boom, boom. Now we can use our hands to slow him down and give us time for us to turn and run with him, right? That's why we want to kick step. We don't want to cross over, because if he comes back inside, then we have to speed turn. We gave him a step. So little technique things like that. Staying square. So your alignment, taking a yard and a half away from a speedy receiver, right? Moving your feet to use your hand, right? Kick stepping, boom. Getting hands on the receiver to slow him down, to give us more time to run with the receiver. So now our technique alone can buy us time. If our technique is clean, we're moving our feet, using our hands, kick stepping. So now we're here, we're using our hands. Now we get into that in phase, right? About 12 to 15-ish yards is when we really get in phase with the receiver. Phase is when I'm right here, hip to hip with him, and I'm running, right? He's ready to run a fade. I'm running with him right here on this hip, right? Now, this is where a lot of DBs get beat. Get in phase, but then the receiver starts to drift away, and now we're chasing, right? The key is to always stay attached to that hip, that near hip of the receiver. If we can stay attached to this hip as we're running with him and force him closer to the sideline, he's going to lose space. It's going to make it easier for us, a harder throw for the quarterback, harder catch for him. Like I always explain, get in the receiver circle. Like you're playing Madden, you're controlling a player, he has a little circle underneath his player. You want to get in that circle, make it uncomfortable, right? And now, the key right here, when you're in phase with him, as you're running with him, right? Especially against a faster receiver, if you could use that inside hand, right? And hit his hip, boom, boom, boom. That's gonna slow him down. That's gonna buy us more time to get to that hip. So not reaching, if we're here, don't reach to get that hip. Get in his circle and then hit his hip, boom. That's gonna slow him down, because he's not gonna be able to really extend his leg. And now you're forcing him closer to the sideline, and that's gonna help us. Now, off man coverage, right? Main thing is you want to start your alignment 7 yards, right, away from the receiver, not the line of scrimmage, the receiver, because he might be off the ball. So 7 yards away from him, a yard inside. You want to protect the inside leverage, right? Unless he's a cut split, then we can line up outside leverage, but he's wide right now, so let's inside leverage. And the biggest thing to do, we have to stay in our pedal, right? So if I'm inside leverage, I'm here. If you read the QB, get your 3-step, right? So you take your walk, boom. As soon as you get your 3-step, if it's not a 3-step, get your eyes right back to the receiver, right? If it's a 3-step, boom, get your eyes right to the receiver and get ready to break. All right, so practice that. If you're not used to reading the QB, practice it. It can help you a lot. If you don't feel comfortable doing it, that's perfectly fine. Just still take your read step, but just be patient and try to stay square in your pedal. That's the biggest thing. When we're guarding receiver off man, a lot of times, a lot of DBs get beat is they stop their feet. They're here and then they're just waiting, right? Somebody's running full speed and you waiting like this, he's gonna blow right by you.
Obviously,
So
there was
now,
some kind
we
of
gotta
confusion.
make sure
Arbor
we
Davis
take
doesn't
a
even
walk, boom, and speed up our pedal, right? We gotta see that transition to speed, right? So you take your walk, then speed up your pedal and try to stay square. Another reason, as soon as they go hike, they open up and they're like this. They shade on one side. As a fade, we gotta find them. Boom. Biggest thing is just staying square. Staying square, weaving. That's the next point I wanna make. A lot of DBs don't weave in their pedal. When the receiver starts to stem us, we wanna weave, boom, and protect our leverage. Most DBs, a lot of DBs, when they start to stem us, they immediately open up. Immediately open up, and they don't get to that hip. The receiver's just running off wherever he wants to go. So if we stay square and weave, boom, so now when he breaks, we can break anywhere we want. Boom, if we need to open up, we can open up. And the last point, a lot of DBs don't know when the receiver has broken our cushion. So if he's running full speed, boom, a lot of DBs will start to open up right here. And then he's gone, and now we're chasing. We want to protect our cushion, right? We're here, he breaks our cushion, now get to open up. And then we're in position to get to that hip and run with him, right? So know when the receiver is breaking your cushion. Understand how fast you can flip your hips and run. Do a lot of drills where you can flip your hips and run because that's going to help you a lot. And when we open up and run, don't just gradually open up and run. Like, turn and go. Like, it got to be instant. When he breaks your cushion, you got to go, right? If you start slowly going like this, he's just going to run right by you. All right, so make sure we're here. Boom, he breaks our cushion, get to it. If you need to get a hand on him, you can get a hand on him and then run with him. All right, so now what to do when you're beat.
What a play right at the end.
This is when you're beat. First thing you do not want to do is look back for the ball. The ball's not going to us. It's not going to us, it's going to him. So the quarterback going to throw it to him. He's not throwing it at us. So we don't want to look back for the ball. The reason why we don't want to look back for the ball, go ahead. If we look back for the ball, we're running slower and we're going to see the ball get caught for a touchdown. What we want to do is if we're beat, we want to close the space. We want to focus on closing the space, right? Focus on closing the space. We want to run our body to this shoulder, but aim for the upfield shoulder. Let me explain that. So if I'm here, I'm trying to close the space. I'm running to this near shoulder, but I'm aiming for the upfield shoulder. The reason why is because if I run here and the quarterback throws the ball over our heads, we can go here, right? But if we start running to the back shoulder here, right, and then he goes in, you know what I'm saying? We can't make that play. So we want to shield our body for our leverage. We want to use our body to protect our leverage, but we want to aim with our hands and everything for the upfield shoulder, all right? As we're closing the space, right, we got to be able to judge his speed. So once he starts to slow down, we got to start slowing down because now we know the ball's underthrown and he's either going to turn to high point the ball or he's going to try to come back for the ball. He's turning to high point the ball, so now we can play through the receiver's hand. If he's coming back for the ball, boom, we got to be able to turn, and then we can either try to pick it because it's coming down, or we can play the receiver's hand. So those little things right there, okay? So make sure we're able to judge the speed. I know everybody's focused, closing the space, but we got to be under control. We're running full speed, but under control, because now if we just run into him, boom, they're going to call pass interference, and then 15 yards or whatever the penalty is. All right, but hey, it's still better than a touchdown. Now that's the last resort. If you're beat and you have no else, right, go ahead, get that pass interference, line up for the next play. That's the last resort though. Do not just do that all the time because at the end of the day, you're gonna be right there next to coach if you're getting multiple penalties. So that's the end of the video. Remember the tips and tricks, right? Impress man, kick stepping, moving our feet to use our hands, right? Where we get in phase with the receiver. Make sure you're hitting that near hip. Get in the receiver circle, Make it uncomfortable. Make him worry about you more than the ball. So hit that near hip, keep your running form, hit that near hip to slow him down. All right, make sure you lean into him and force him closer to the sideline as your help. When we're playing off man, right, make sure you pedal, stay square, weave. Don't stop your feet. Don't open up early, right? Make sure he breaks your cushion before we open up. And most importantly, when he breaks your cushion, we quickly transition and run with the receiver. Do not take your time trying to open up and run with him because he's going to run right by you. Add these tips and tricks to your game. It will take your game to the next level. Be smart. Understand the coverage. Understand what you're supposed to do. If it's zone coverage, obviously, make sure everything's in front of you. Protect your zone. That's the end of the video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure to drop a like on the video. Share with your cousins. Let everybody know Team Eyeland's where it's at. We got some Team Eyeland towels, streamer towels that's on the work. So stay tuned for that. First come, first serve. But I'm going to try to bless everybody as much as I can. And I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.